Hello everyone, I'm Duncan, and this is Gentleman Momo. You sir.
Hello, everybody. I found compromise, man. I don't want to sit in chair, so I'm gonna do it from my bed. But I will dress nicely.
Like a sir.
Not bottom, not bottom. On bottom, I have sweater, not those sweatpants.
You know
But
what I'm
top,
imagining?
I look like gentleman.
Do you know what I'm imagining you were wearing? Bottom?
What?
Like red pants with some white dots.
No, they are just plain old.
Cool.
But anyway, it's not cool at all. But anyway, this is like second episode of Dust of Dreams. This week we will do two chapters again. Like we plan to do in future more than two chapters, but I mean, first episode was prologue and first chapters. There is usually a lot to talk about, and this episode there is this a famous deck of dragons reading, so we kinda didn't wanna cram too much in episodes. So shall we dive in?
Yeah, but I don't know what you planned, but I kinda wanna jump into this reading, and so from my eyes,
Okay,
this,
wait.
yeah, but let me say,
Okay.
the chapter 2 is basically just two things worth mentioning. Yadan kind of being badass,
Yeah.
and second is a little bit of rocky situation where he's training with old wise master, and that's Rud and Silka's ruin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
yeah,
I wanted to talk just a little bit more about Tankalian. Because I realized something on this reread. I really hated this character in past. And I still hate him. But I realized something, like very troublesome. That I would probably be same as him. Like his train of thoughts is so logical to me.
so you are
Not the ending part of this where he decided not to tell what happened to Krugava, or however it's pronounced, but those before, like how it's annoying actually to him, this structure of gray swords, that they are like, yes sir, everybody is serving everybody. It's like very boring, very fake, very, feel to me also very forced. And second thing, I realized that I would also be terrible shield anvil, because I wouldn't give it to everybody. Fuck you, no, you don't deserve it. And apparently, his job is not to cast judgment. His job is to embrace absolutely everybody. And I realized I couldn't do it. I mean, I still hate this guy. It's just now troubling to me when I realized that, I hold a lot of his views, basically, also.
well, this brings a question. Did you like Itkovian?
I mean, yeah, I liked Kovian, but he was extremely boring. These gray helms, gray swords, they are extremely boring to me. They don't have this fun, like, Bone Hunter, Bridge Burner vibe to them, because they are too rigid.
That brings another question. How did he get this job?
I mean, apparently, they were desperate. And, he's very, very young and brash and judgmental. I mean, he's a terrible person for the job, and so would I be for this particular job, man. He doesn't. And that is theme of these two chapters, in my opinion, is humility, basically, and he is still young enough to not taste this humility. While, for example, somebody as Silkas Ruin, man, Cassers tend to teach you good dose of humility, man. He's a changed man.
Of course, but this brings another. You just made me realize something. Shield Anvil position is so, like, it's so crazy in this series. So we had Itkovian, then we had Heborik, then we have this guy. I believe the fourth one will be even crazier.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, Itkovian was like I don't know how to say, like he's a prototype of Shield Anvil. How Shield Anvil is supposed to be. Like no judging, no, embrace everybody, everything. He doesn't give a fuck about himself. And we know what happened to him and where that brought him. But I think he is very special. I think most of people like cannot do what Itkovian did.
Okay.
Now we can jump into this reading, man. And like this reading was different than all those before one, because I think even Fiddler said that this wasn't reading. This was I don't even what it was, man. Like
it was potent divination.
It was extremely potent, and it was so potent, man. It's fun, like to see to me that creatures like I say creatures like elder gods, like Bug, man. He's fucking sweating, and he's not alone there. And Fiddler is not actually even trying to do anything to this child, to this unborn child. But just imagine, man, you are this powerful that you can make elder fucking god of sea sweat. But now, shall we dive in?
Can you sweat under the water?
Apparently you can. Okay, you go.
I just want to say about these first three cards that were set aside right at the beginning. One is very enigmatic, and I didn't try to research too much. I researched like 10 minutes before this.
I did exactly like you. 10 minutes, because I had few like ideas who it could be, but it was just I was just spitballing basically. I mean, two of these are fairly obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, Knight of Shadow is Trull's unborn child. It was obvious, and Master of Deck, even more obvious, is Para. This Pinner of Death, man, I had like first thing that came to my mind, but I'm sure that it's not him. Was Kalor. But I'm kind of sure that it's not him. And other than that, I have literally no idea, man.
So how spoilery can we go here? That is the question.
I mean, we can go as spoilery as we want, because in my research, I found out that nobody actually know who Spinner of Death is.
Yeah.
So whatever we say, it will not be spoiled. It will just be us, saying shit that might not be true.
No. This is what I'm talking about. For example, Kalor doesn't appear at all in this book. And so if we try to use logic that all of these characters that were mentioned in this reading play a fairly active role in this book, then by that logic it could not be Kalor, because he doesn't even appear here. So
I kind of agree.
But that's spoilery, because we just told everybody there's no Kalor in this book.
I know it's not a huge spoiler, but other than that, I really have no idea, because all other major players were already at this reading. So who is Spinner of Death? It's spoilery. Maybe another thing is, but somebody who we will meet at the end of the book. Basically, I'll just say it's enemy. But I cannot say much more than that.
So you see, I'm just basing it on the information that we currently have, and I'm trying to use process of elimination. So it's death. It's Spinner of Death. And so when we think about characters that are in House of Death, in this reading, and even in previous readings, so we have Sin, Virgin of Death. She was just read here also.
Yes.
Hedge, who is Mason of Death. We have him.
Yes.
Before Fiddler was, and Whiskey Jack was also connected to that. Hood. So all of those characters, I think there was one more here from that, but I can't remember. I wrote them all here, but I now...
No, nobody else.
But anyways, like, the point is, like, most of these people are kinda... Shall we call them on the good side?
Yeah.
And shall we kinda also connect that a lot of them are also bridge burners? Or some might be bone
You mean
hunters.
Malazans?
Yeah,
But this Tandy is not this female Sandalat.
but she is dark. This is
Yeah.
how's that?
You mean how's that? I mean, yeah, we know that bridge burners kind of ascended and that they are
So should
holding
we?
House of Death, and especially we now don't know what's happening. To be honest, I mean, we know that shit is happening in House of Death, and we know from previous book why this shit is happening, because Hood died basically. I mean, he came back, but I don't. We don't know still. Is he still Hood basically? Is he still God of Death?
Yeah. So by that logic, someone from the good side should
Okay,
be.
man, but you are shooting down my ideas. Okay, tell me yours, motherfucker.
Well, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to
You're shitting on me.
I'm trying to eliminate options. Like, obviously, it shouldn't be someone who is not in this book, but it could be. It could be. So, for example, son of Trull is not in this book. Clearly, I mean, he is, but
He's not in the world still.
do we count fetus? But I mean, you know what I mean. So I'm just trying to narrow it down from, like, for example, Tok appears, but he's kind of
He's Herald.
Yeah.
We know what he is, man. That's the
But
thing.
he's
I
kind
thought
of 50-50 to me.
no.
Because he
I think
has the wolf, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's fairly clear that Tok is Herald of High House of Death. So, what you are saying basically is that this spinner, first of all, need to be somebody from this book.
Yeah, it should
And
be.
second, he need to probably be like Malazan, bridge burner, bone hunter.
Or someone who is on good side. Because I have yet to see someone on the evil side.
If that is the thing, then my next bet would be either Kisver or her sister.
Yeah, perhaps.
Or maybe even Rutan Bad.
Yeah, another choice.
But I'm really pulling this out of my ass, man.
Could be Whiskey
Honestly.
Jack.
I don't
Could
think
be
it's
Hood.
Whiskey Jack. I mean, Whiskey Jack doesn't show up in this book.
I think he does. I'm fairly sure that he actually does. But kinda. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. You might be right. Yeah.
I mean, but your guesses, I like your guesses also. Come on, please. Steven, can you just tell us who it is? It's eating the community. Or maybe people know and we are just ignorant. We were researching for 10 minutes.
You know what is the best thing also? That there is, I think, good possibility that even Steven doesn't
Maybe he doesn't remember.
doesn't know or doesn't remember, because he's writing this kind of magic system like very relaxedly, so like he doesn't put any constraints on him. I read even somewhere that he doesn't even keep notes of magic system, and sometimes there are even some like contradictions, and he simply doesn't give a fuck. And I kind of like it, man. This is funny.
Yeah, it's eating me, but maybe some things should be
Yeah,
secrets.
so I just want a rifle. Who is who? So Sin is Virgin of Death. Skepter is Grab.
Yeah, but let's just tiny little discussion about that.
Okay, here is my discussion. Like there are so many unaligned here. That's the first thing that's strange to me. Like Skepter, Obelisk is Bottle, Gessler is Orb, Stormy is Throne. And at the end we found out that apparently Tavore is Chains. Now, that is 5 unaligned. characters. And in Tavore case, I don't think chains was ever mentioned before as one of the unaligned cards. I think this is the first time. So did Fiddler mean that she is unaligned chains, or that she is connected to House of Chains? Because at the end he say that you are like very powerful, and what else he say, that he's worried that he's not sure who is pulling who. Is she pulling somebody, or somebody else is pulling her? And we all know who that somebody is.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's fairly obvious that he's talking about a relationship between Crippled God and Tavore.
yeah, I think
And he's worried. He's not sure who is pulling who there.
Yeah, I think we should not discuss that further because it's on spoiler side.
Yeah, we shouldn't. But I'm just wondering if Tavore, when he say chains, does he imply that she is connected to House of Chains, or that chain is some new unaligned card? That's what I wanna know.
I mean, yeah, it's spoiler, so
Yeah.
let's not go there. But I want to go a little bit back to Grub, because this is, I believe, not first time that he was assigned Scepter, and I think it was in House of Chains, in one of those before chapters, whatever that's called. It said that he would be first sword.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is obviously not spoiler because it's previously mentioned, but it has to mean that, like, in future there's position for him.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that he will be extremely important in future, but question is, will we see that future? I mean, will we read about that future?
Yeah. What about Quick Ben?
That's another interesting one. But it was interesting that he was like. There are a couple of things that are interesting there. First of all, it was surprised that he was Magus of, like, mage of High House of Dark.
But is that surprise?
It's not. But but we know a little bit more about him than probably most people. But what I found more interesting is first reaction from Sandalat. Like, how can he be mage of Dark when he's not even this standy? And second is, like, Quick Ben reaction when he's like, fucking Fiddler, you have a great nose. So, can this be, like, there is, I don't know if first time readers know about this, but there is, like, theory that Quick Ben is actually some ancient Tistandi from Karkanas.
One of personas.
Yes, one of personas. And that is one of those personas, one of those 11 souls that are inside of him. But, Quick Ben is, like, we have so many tidbits about him, and he's still, like, such a huge mystery, man.
This is actually, as far as I remember, third huge hint that he's connected to Tistandi. First one was in Gardens of the Moon. I feel it was when he was, I don't know,
speaking with Rake, I think. Oh no,
not
that
Rake.
was in book 3.
Maybe Rake, but I feel it's with Shadow Throne or with Hairlock.
Yeah, it's possible. But there was also in book 3 he have a conversation with Anomander, and he tried to, like, I don't know, expand his magic to him, and he rebuffed him. He said, no, I don't want you anywhere near me.
In book 3, he clearly didn't want Anomandarik probing him, but in book 1 he mentions Par Effendi, which is like, why does human know about Par Effendi? So,
and not only that, man, but through all the books, his knowledge about gods, ascendants, magics, simply seem, man, like, greater than even gods' knowledge of magic systems.
He's too smart.
He is definitely smart, but is he only smart, or he is also knowledgeable?
Or he's very
because
wise.
because this knowledge, man, no matter how smart you are, is not accessible right now, because this is ancient knowledge, basically.
Yeah. So quick ban, we covered him. Hedge, Mason of that, again, we can just go back to all the bridge burners who were part of House of Death.
Yeah.
He just fits. Sandala, Queen of Dark. Now, obviously, we know she's Tistandy. It's obvious that she will be something with Dark, but Queen is high position.
Yeah, that's what was interesting to me. Her position and position of Briss are unexpectedly high, man. Briss is king of life, and that is basically second position. He's like, partner to Queen of Dreams, man. I think she is a queen of life.
Yes, Tris.
Yes, and that's, I know, too high of a position. But hers, I mean, Standalat is even stranger, man. Because this would mean, we know that leader of House of Dark was Queen of Dark. We know also that what happened at the end of last book. So is it possible, or is this maybe say to us that Queen of Dark is not anymore Queen of High House of Shadow?
I would rather ask question like, who is Sandalat? Like, just who she is, how old she is.
Yeah, also, we know that she's very old.
Yeah.
And we know that she fucking beats poor dude.
Yeah. And here is one that is another interesting in this read, and that's Lostara. She got champion of life. I mean, she was clearly Shadow.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
She was dancing. She's probably going to dance some more. So this is great example of, like, so people do not change only positions in one house, but they are kinda swapping houses.
Yeah, man, there is a lot of swapping. If you remember previous readings, ranging from book one, Fiddler was at one point, I don't know what, but he changed several positions. So did Whiskey Jack. So did even Color. Everybody, these positions are very fluid, basically.
Yeah. Next one is Obelisk Bottle. I mean, to me, Obelisk is clearly something with elder powers, elder gods. He's using old magic. It's clear.
It kind of fits.
Yeah. Gaslight Stormy, this is obviously spoilery, but they are also gonna be in position of power.
That is understatement, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that part, man. I cannot wait for that part, I swear.
But the one that's surprising to me is Herald of Life. And also this is spoilery as well. So is this Ublala or potentially Karsa?
Oh, this is Ublala, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fairly obvious by a couple of implications. First of all, that I cannot imagine Karsa joining anybody. That's the first thing. And second implication, that before Fiddler said that, we had part where Ublala showed up and punched fucking Errant.
Yeah.
So it's fairly obvious that's him.
It's possible, but there will be a moment, and I will remember this, and when we get to that episode, I'll say why potentially it could be also Karsa.
Okay.
But, did we crunch the reading?
Man, I think we scratched the surface. And whenever somebody say that 100% they know everything that happened in Malazan, I can just say to you that they are either delusional or lying to you. So, like, Malazan is not, it's simply not meant for you to know everything that's happening in Malazan. There are things, and I think Steven Erikson even said that there are things that will forever be mystery in Malazan, and I kind of like it that way, to be honest. It gives us opportunity to discuss things, and I found that, discussing something that might be is more fun than, knowing that actually is.
Some things.
Yeah, some things, of course. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We probably forgot something. And see ya hopefully next week. Bye.
Bye.